She walked away from the doubles draw, and that decision might change her entire season. Because this isn't just about skipping a few matches, this is about energy, rankings, pressure, and a 20-year-old who suddenly has the tennis world watching her every move. Alexandra Eala is no longer a promising junior. She's no longer a wild card story. After that explosive run in Miami, taking down Grand Slam champions like Jelena Ostapenko, Madison Keys, and even stunning Iga Swiatek, everything changed. And now, heading into Indian Wells for the very first time, she just made a move that tells us exactly how serious she is about breaking into the elite.no doubles. Not even a name in the draw. That might sound small. It's not. Because if you followed Eala over the past 2 seasons, you know she's been everywhere. Singles, doubles, mixed, ITF, WTA 125, premier events, back-to-back travel across continents. She has built a reputation as one of the hardest working players on tour. But here's the question. Nobody was asking loudly enough. Was she working too much? Let's rewind. The Miami Open changed her narrative. That wasn't just a hot streak. That was a statement. When she beat Ostapenko, people said, okay, dangerous. When she beat Keys, the whispers got louder. When she took down Swiatek, the tennis world stopped scrolling and started watching. That win over Swiatek wasn't lucky. It wasn't a retirement. It wasn't a collapse. It was controlled aggression, smart shot selection, fearless court positioning. It felt like the moment she realized she belonged, and after Miami, expectations skyrocketed. Then came Dubai. Another statement run, quarterfinals, momentum building, a loss to Coco Gauff, yes, but a competitive one. She didn't look overwhelmed. She looked like someone learning how to win consistently at that level. And here's where things get interesting. Since joining the WTA Tour full-time, Eala has balanced singles and doubles almost non-stop. She partnered with Iga Swiatek in Auckland, teamed with Ingrid Martens at the Australian Open, played alongside Janice Chen in Abu Dhabi. She's built chemistry with multiple partners across surfaces and continents. And it's not like she struggled in doubles. At Roland Garros, she teamed with Renata Zarazua and earned her first Grand Slam doubles win. In Rome, she partnered with Coco Gauff and reached the quarterfinals at the Italian Open. At the ITF level, she lifted trophies with Estelle Casino in Spain. She even played mixed doubles with Zhongqing Shang at the Macau Tennis Masters. That's not casual scheduling. That's a full second career running parallel to singles. And here's the truth. Most fans don't realize doubles is physically exhausting in a different way. Shorter points, yes, but more explosive reactions, more net sprints, less recovery time between matches, add travel, add media, add practice. It builds. So when Eala quietly chose not to enter doubles at Indian Wells, I saw something bigger than rest. I saw strategy. Because look at her situation right now. She just climbed 15 spots to a career-high world number 32. Not 80, not 60, 32. That's knocking on the door of the seeded elite. Her previous best was 40. This is real progress, but rankings are fragile. Soon, she'll need to defend semi-final points from Miami. That's pressure. If she underperforms, those points drop. If she performs again, she cements herself. So, what do you do before a Masters 1000 event like Indian Wells? You protect your energy. You recalibrate your body. You sharpen your singles game. And maybe, just maybe, you admit that trying to master both formats at 20 years old might slow your singles breakthrough. Very few players juggle both successfully at the highest level. Jasmine Paolini has managed it recently, largely because of her chemistry with Sara Errani. But even that balance is rare. The modern tour is brutal. Recovery is currency. Eala herself admitted something telling. She said she needs time to reassess, to improve physically, to focus on injury prevention, to bridge the gap between herself and the top 5 players. That's not random commentary. That's awareness. She knows the difference between beating a top player once and doing it consistently is physical durability. The top 5 don't just hit harder. They recover better. They last longer over 2 weeks. They sustain performance across surfaces. Look at her recent stretch. 6 tournaments in 6 weeks. Semi-final in Auckland. Early exit at the Australian Open. A WTA 125 in Manila. Then Abu Dhabi, Dubai, 4 straight weeks in the Middle East. That's airports, time zones, media obligations, practice courts, match pressure. She's 10-6 this season. That's solid. But it's also heavy. And when she beat Paolini in Dubai for her 3rd career top 10 win, it showed something important when she's fresh. She's dangerous. So the decision to skip doubles at Indian Wells might be less about sacrifice and more about investment. Investment in recovery. Investment in sharper movement. Investment in deeper singles runs. Now, here's where I want to create a little curiosity gap. Because this move also signals something psychological. When a player stops playing doubles regularly, it often means they believe their single ceiling is higher than previously assumed. Doubles is valuable. It builds reflexes. It sharpens volleys. It adds income and ranking insurance. But it can also become a comfort zone, a backup identity. By stepping away even temporarily, Eala is telling us she's betting on herself in singles. And that's bold. Indian Wells is not forgiving. Slow, hard courts, heavy desert air, long rallies, physical tests. It exposes weaknesses in endurance and patience. It rewards players who manage momentum over 2 weeks. And this year, she enters with a seeded spot. That changes everything. No early clash with a top 8 player. Time to settle. Time to find rhythm. Time to build belief. But here's the twist. Seeding also brings expectation. You're supposed to win early rounds. You're supposed to reach the 2nd week. The pressure shifts. Can she handle that shift? I believe this is the tournament where we find out if Miami was a spark or the start of a pattern. Because great players don't just shock once. They build repetition. And if she makes a deep run at Indian Wells, something else happens. Her ranking trajectory accelerates. Top 25 becomes realistic. Top 20 whispers get louder. Experts are already predicting it. Many believe she has the weapons. The lefty angles. The fearless baseline aggression. The improved serve placement. But tools aren't enough. Scheduling discipline is part of becoming elite. Look at players who made the jump from 30 to 15. Almost all of them refined their calendars. They became selective, strategic, protective of their bodies. At 20 years old, making that adjustment is maturity. And I'll say this clearly. I love doubles. I love watching single stars team up. Her partnership with Gauff in Rome was exciting. Her chemistry with Zarazua at Roland Garros was meaningful. Those experiences matter. But right now, the window is open in singles. Her ranking is climbing. Her confidence is rising. Her game is evolving. This is not the time to split focus. And let's talk about the mental side. When you lose early in singles but still have doubles, the emotional reset can get complicated. When you win in singles and then have to switch tactical gears for doubles, it's draining. Removing that layer simplifies the week. 1 goal, 1 draw, 1 mission. Indian Wells. And beyond that, Miami again. Defending semi-final points is not easy. Opponents study you differently. There's no underdog shield anymore. She'll walk into Miami recognized. So Indian Wells becomes the foundation, the recalibration tournament, the place where she tests whether her body and mind are ready for sustained elite pressure. If she reaches the 2nd week, confidence skyrockets. If she struggles physically, the decision to skip doubles will look even smarter in hindsight. And here's something else. People overlook crowd support. Eala's fanbase is growing fast. Her story resonates globally. At Indian Wells, she won't be anonymous. Energy matters in tight matches. Belief feeds off atmosphere. But belief also requires discipline. Skipping doubles might not trend on social media. It might not get headlines. But inside locker rooms, players notice those choices. It signals seriousness. It signals long-term thinking. And long-term thinking is how careers are built, not viral weeks. So, here's the big question. Is this the season Alexandra Eala transitions from breakout story to established contender? Because the ingredients are there. Top 10 wins. Career high ranking. Improved physical awareness. Calendar adjustment. And most importantly, self-belief. I don't think this is a gamble. I think it's evolution. Now, I want to hear from you. You believe stepping away from doubles is the right move for her long-term singles breakthrough, or should she continue balancing both formats like Paolini has done? Let's debate that in the comments because this decision might define her 2026 season. As for my prediction, I see her reaching at least the round of 16 at Indian Wells. If the draw opens up, quarterfinals are not unrealistic, and if that happens, Miami becomes less about defending and more about attacking. The scary part? She's only 20, and she's already thinking like a veteran. That's dangerous for the rest of the tour, because when talent meets discipline, rankings move fast. Keep your eyes on Indian Wells. This is where we find out how real this rise truly is. And if she digs deep in the desert, don't be surprised if top 20 becomes a reality sooner than anyone expected. Short outro about RedDust Report. This is RedDust Report, where we don't just follow tennis, we feel it, analyze it, and live every turning point. If you love deep dives into the stories shaping the sport, you're in the right place. YouTube description: Alexandra Eala has made a bold and strategic decision ahead of Indian Wells 2026, stepping away from doubles to focus entirely on singles. After her explosive Miami Open run where she defeated Iga Swiatek, Jelena Ostapenko, and Madison Keys, and her impressive Dubai performance including a win over Jasmine Paolini, Eala is now ranked world number 32. Is this the move that launches her into the WTA top 20? Or is she risking too much by leaving doubles behind? In this video, we break down her scheduling strategy, physical reset, ranking pressure, and what this means for Indian Wells and Miami. Let us know in the comments, should Alexandra Eala focus only on singles in 2026?